Today, you'll discover the complete story of the Bible. You will journey through both the Old and New Testaments, from creation to the final revelation. Prepare to be transformed. On this epic journey, every page of the Bible will come to life before your eyes. The promise is clear. The invitation has been made. Dive in and let the Bible transform your life.
Vital, the only book of the Bible that sing to those who read it. Blessed is the one who reads this prophecy, because the time is near. Studiation is crucial. It contains emphasis about the end. Many believe end time and the events of the book of Revelation are about to unfold. Prophecies is essential prepared. And you may wonder who am I? My name is, and you know me as the Apostle John or John Evangelist. I was a beloved, privileged my head on the Lord's chest during. I was a fisherman till Jesus called me to follow. Since then my life was forever formed. As one of the 12 apostles I had many of Jesus' miracles, such as sight to the blind and raise the dead. I was a witness to Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection. I ran to the empty tomb and saw the resurrected full of glory and power. After Jesus' ascension, I preached the gospel and cared for the church. I lived in Ephesus, where I wrote my gospel and 3 epistles. But then came the rise of the fearsome Emperor Domitian, and a very dark time began. Domitian was a cruel man who demanded to be worshipped as a god. He demanded an act of loyalty that went against the very essence of the Christian faith. Once a year, on the day of the Lord, everyone had to burn incense before an altar and proclaim, "Caesar is Lord." For Christians whose devotion was firmly anchored in the declaration, "Jesus is Lord," this mandate was a severe challenge. They could not, must not, compromise their faith without facing terrible consequences. The followers of Christ suffered brutal persecution for proclaiming the gospel and keeping their testimony firm. I was sentenced to a horrendous death. My persecutors, with ruthless cruelty, condemned me to die in a cauldron of boiling oil. The intention was clear, a spectacle of death, to dissuade others from following Christ. But what happened defied all human logic and showed the miraculous power of God. The cauldron, which was supposed to be my tomb, had no power over me. I was submerged in the boiling oil, but I suffered no harm. My enemies, astonished and terrified, choice but to acknowledge that something supernatural had occurred. Unable to kill me, decided to exile me. Sent me to Patmos, a desolate and cruel Roman Empire, exile enemies to die slowly. Patmos Island, barely 12 kilometers long and wide, was a rocky wasteland with tree fertile land. Its aridity and ice made it a natural prison, a place where the condemned to slow agony. Thus, I was sent to this inhospitable island, an exile that was supposed to be my death sentence. But in the solid suffering of Patmos, I found God's presence in a way I had never experienced before. In the midst of the wind, surrounded by endless sea, the final destiny of humanity and God's eternal glory was revealed to